Because there's incompetence and chaos going on, and we should not put up with it.
Well,
and by the way, egg prices are supposed to come down, not airplanes.
Well, let me.
Gotta love the view. Okay, we're going to talk about both of those things. Egg prices going up, planes going down, and whose fault is it? Let's start off with the plane. This is just absolute epic plane footage that came out. This is from the Delta flight 4819 was the flight number, I believe, of this. Let me just pull that up. This was the flight going to Toronto, and this is just insane. Look at this.
523, I might take that. Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh no 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 no! Tower, you're seeing this airplane just crash into 3. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Notice how calm the airport worker was. I mean, he was obviously freaking out, but then when he got on and he did what he needed to. Let's watch that again, actually. Watch this guy. Just listen to how calm he is. And then he's kind of like, oh my God. And then he's, when he radios in saying, are you seeing this plane crash? He's being very professional. Look at this again. I mean, it comes in for a landing and it's totally normal.
Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh no 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 no! Tower, you're seeing this airplane just crash into 3. Oh my god! Oh my god!
I mean, it's amazing that no one is dead on this one. That right now, I think there are some people hospitalized, but by and large, everybody walked away from this. I mean, could you imagine being on that plane? This is, I mean, if you're going to have a plane crash, if you're going to be in a plane crash, I guess this would be the best type of plane crash to be in. I mean, obviously because everybody survived, but secondly, because you're not flying out of the sky, right? I mean, that's like my worst nightmare is thinking the plane, something happens while you're in the air, and do you die right away, or are you just going to fall out of the airplane and then see your doom, before you actually, that to me is just absolutely terrifying, or falling into an ocean or something that's just absolutely terrifying. But this one, I mean, here they were just coming in for a normal landing, thinking everything was fine. I bet you some people had already taken off their seatbelts. They're thinking, all right, they're already gathering all of their items underneath the seat, which this is kind of a lesson. Don't do that. And then the next thing you know, right when they're to hit the ground, the plane starts to roll and the wings go up in flames. That's where the fuel is held. It's unclear right now. People are saying this looks like pilot error, that he just came down on the ground too hard. He or she, I'm not sure who it is. I'm hearing some people saying this is a DEI hire issue and this was pilot error. I mean, it's unclear. They're going to do the investigation, so we'll find out. But I'm just it's good to see that everybody survived this. I'm sure Boeing is sighing a little bit of relief because they were not. It wasn't one of their planes. So, if it's a Boeing, I ain't going. Well, this wasn't a Boeing. But this is when I went to FlightAware yesterday, I thought this was kind of interesting. Right when the plane crashed, about 30 minutes, and I'd seen this online. I went to FlightAware. I grabbed the screenshot today, but I went to FlightAware to check on, what does it look like when a plane crashes? I mean, I always go to FlightAware to see, is the plane going to be on time? Did it land? When I'm looking for myself or family members' flights. And I went there and it just acted like, yeah, the plane landed. It was a little late. 34 minutes late is what it shows here. But, nothing to see here. All is well. It was just a little late. Doesn't say that it crashed. I mean, I'm surprised that it doesn't give us any of these kind of details on this website. Like, yeah, it didn't go as planned. Something to indicate that the thing crashed, that the plane crashed. I mean, otherwise, how would you know if you're a family member or a loved one and you're checking in on this plane and all you see is, well, it's landed, so I guess it wasn't them, because I'm sure the other one would say it crashed, but it doesn't. That's what's so crazy. It's just like nothing to see here. It was just a little late, 34 minutes. No big deal. Just totally crazy. All right, let's move on to the eggs. So they're the View screaming about the eggs, saying this is just absolute incompetence because egg prices should be high. Egg prices should be coming down, not airplanes. Why are egg prices so high? Well, the egg prices are high. Now, imagine how bad it was for us during COVID. Just think about how bad it is right now to be a bird. The reason why egg prices are up is because of mass culling, which is creating an artificial shortage. Well, what is culling? That is them killing the chickens. They're just going in and they're slaughtering tons of chickens, imagine. And the reason they're slaughtering them is because of bird flu. They're saying, well, one of them caught bird flu, the whole flock is at risk, or these are the ones that maybe have bird flu, so we're just going to kill all of them. Imagine, I mean, I feel like they kind of thought about that when it comes to us during COVID, but luckily they didn't go that far. But just imagine being a chicken right now. So it turns out that every single time bird flu is detected in a flock, entire farms are forced to kill millions of birds. And when they do that, obviously there's a shortage. And when there's a shortage, then the prices go high. But here's the kicker. Bird flu is cyclical and prices still stay high, of course. You know, the chicken prices when you go to the grocery store, when was the last time you saw a roasted chicken for $5 that wasn't at Costco? They've skyrocketed in prices and they don't come back down. I mean, they'll come back down a little bit with the egg prices, but by and large, the prices just keep going up and keep going up. This isn't really a supply and demand issue. This is a price gouging issue on top of the fact that right now it's supply and demand, but the supply is being artificially drained. I mean, they're killing all of these chickens and it's an artificial shortage. Now you might say, yeah, but they've got bird flu. So of course we have to kill them. I mean, I don't want to eat a chicken with bird flu or eggs that come from a chicken with bird flu. I mean, isn't that going to cause me, I mean, am I going to have some issues? I mean, aren't I going to get bird flu? Well, no, actually, you wouldn't get bird flu. Here, let me just go ahead and play this for you. This is Peter McCullough talking about, Peter McCullough, who's been at the forefront of COVID and talking about COVID, and he's a doctor, obviously, the scientist, and he's saying they don't really actually need to do this. They should just allow the virus to spread naturally so that all of these animals end up with herd immunity, so that they have natural immunity, and that way we don't have to worry about the next bird flu that comes around. Here he is.
Transmits from animal to humans. We should let the farms, the chickens and the cows all develop natural immunity because they're continually reinfected by migratory mallard ducks and waterfowl. The practice of culling is hopeless. All it's doing, as Carolyn Leavitt, the new White House press secretary, said, is raising the cost of poultry and eggs.
So that's all it's doing. It's just artificially raising the price. So here's the thing. Bird flu is not a direct threat to consumers. The virus does not survive proper cooking, meaning even if an infected bird makes it to the market, it would not pose a health risk. So why are they why are they making this artificial shortage? There's no evidence of widespread human transmission. You'll see entire farms wiped out over a handful of positive cases. And yet, why? I mean, why are they doing this? This is just another example of a knee-jerk, irrational, not based in science reaction. And all it's doing is harming the rest of us. I mean, that's what's happening here. And people don't really pay as much attention to this as they did to COVID, because obviously COVID, they were affecting our own lives. They were actually shutting us down. They were, locking us up and making us wear masks and making us take the jab. Well, they're making all of these birds potentially take the jab. They've got a vaccine that they want to give all these birds. But do you want to eat a bird that has the vaccine in it? Whereas if the bird recovers if you cook the bird, you're not going to get the bird flu, even if they have the bird flu, you're not going to get it. But if they're vaccinated, a lot of people are wondering, how is that going to affect me if I'm eating a bird that's been vaccinated versus a bird that just had the bird flu? I cooked it and it got over bird flu. So then why are they doing this? I mean, first of all, it's fear, it's knee-jerk reaction. You've got a lot of countries and industries that won't purchase the birds or the eggs if they come from a farm that had bird flu. But really what happens, and it's very similar to what happened during COVID, is that this just serves the big corporate farms and all of the little guys go under. So we saw that during COVID when they did all of these lockdowns, and the only survivors were really these huge mega corporations, the Walmarts, the Targets, the Amazons. They grew, they did really well, but it was the small mom and pop shops that went under and never to be seen again. I mean, it wiped out a lot of our mom and pop small business industries. And that's what's happening with this as well. They're doing this, and it's almost, you got to ask, is this big corporate interest? Are they doing this because they want to collapse the small family farms? And especially now that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is in office, they might be looking at this as, well, that guy is going to try to harm us by telling us we can't be pumping all these chemicals into things anymore. And that's going to be beneficial to the smaller local farms, because the reason why we pump everything full of chemicals is so we can transport it all the way across the country. And if we're not able to, if it'll spoil by the time it gets there because we're not able to use these ingredients, then the small local farms are actually going to start cropping up again, and they're going to start benefiting, which for you and me is a good thing. That's what we want. We want small local farms that don't pump a bunch of chemicals or do all of this stuff to their products. And it's fresher for us. It's better for the environment. It's better for us. It's better for everything, rather than buying something that's been shipped in from across the country, from a different country entirely. So this is driven by big corporate interests. Part of it's driven by big corporate interest. I'm sure part of it's fear and knee-jerk reaction, but I think a lot of it is also big corporate interests, where they're just trying to collapse the family farms, and they're thinking this is our shot. You know, these small farms won't be able to survive. One of their birds gets bird flu. They have to cull the entire flock. So that's it for them. But the corporate ones survive. I mean, this is just a sham. It's another COVID sham. It's very, very similar. And then, of course, they say, well, we have these high prices. We have to, because we had to cull these birds. And so here you got the View, and they're blaming, chicken and eggs, and the administration was supposed to do something about this. But it's the Democrats, it was the liberals that drove the fear behind, every COVID and having to cull animals that had COVID. I mean, you heard about all these animals that were being culled in Denmark. They were culling entire mink farms. Luckily, it didn't make the news much that your dog and cat were also getting COVID and spreading it, because what would people have done? I'm really nervous to think about what they actually would have done in that situation, where they started killing their dogs and cats in a knee-jerk reaction to save grandma. I mean, people went totally crazy during COVID. So also the other thing is about this is, every time they do this, I mean, here they are and they kill the birds and they think, okay, well, this solves the problem, but it doesn't, because every season they keep getting a new bird flu. It's just this time, this one is really virulent. So they're saying, oh my gosh, there's something, this one is extra. Just like this one's just a really bad flu for the birds. Well, every year you get this. And so when you kill these guys off, all you're doing is you're setting up the new flock that never built up any immunity. You're just setting them up for the same disaster. So it just ends up happening over and over and over again. And you end up going to, to the supermarket, and eggs are like, what right now? $14 a carton, something ridiculous. And they're telling us, I know when I went to Trader Joe's the other day, it was just 1 carton per person, because they still sell theirs for fairly cheap. And, people they're going in and trying to buy too many of them. So, but that's what's actually happening with this. And now they're going to start vaccinating these birds. And are we going to be notified of the bird you're buying, whether or not it's a vaccinated bird? I mean, the whole thing, it's COVID all over again, happening in a different way. It's obviously not as, they're not coming after us just yet, but will they? Will they be? Will they? All right, guys. CB Distillery is having a big stock up sale. It is officially live. Save up to 40% on everything. So if you're struggling to sleep, or you're dealing with daily stress, or you need relief after a tough workout, you have to check out CB Distillery, because they've got natural plant-based solutions for just about everything. And this isn't low quality stuff that you find at the drugstore. No, this is premium CBD. People swear by this. I know a lot of you love CB Distillery sleep products. Personally, I love them as well. I stock up on them for myself and also for family members. Also, I get some stuff for my pets. They've got great pain products for people and pets. They make it so easy to find exactly what you need. Just go to their website and you can shop by benefit. They have sleep, stress, mood, focus, pain after workout, pets, all of that's on the site. So whether CB Distillery is already part of your routine, or you've been curious about trying CBD, now is the time to stock up and save up to 40%. Discover the healing benefits of CBD and save up to 40% on everything. So here's the QR code. You can scan that and get to their site now. When you get there, enter the code RUMBLE. You can also just go to the website. The link is also down below, cbdistillery.com, code RUMBLE, cbdistillery.com. Unfortunately, this is not available in Idaho, Iowa, and South Dakota.